guys, thank you for joining us for this Love After Lockup review. This is is this season 3 episode 6 or season 2 episode 29?
The one I watch, it keeps running on and on, so for me it would be season 2 episode 29. And then when I watch it on YouTube, it just goes off the dates. So who knows? But it's we're far in, I'll say that much. But a lot of things was going on this time around. The first thing that happens on the show, it starts off where we left off in the last episode with Angela wondering where her fiance Tony's at, and she gets a call from the police, basically asking if she heard from him. Is that what started off?
I think so.
Yeah, if she heard from Tony, and she doesn't lie. He says yes, Tony called her, but did not tell him where he was. Did not tell her where he was. But at the end of the day, she wanted to know too, so she's going to cooperate with the cops,
right?
Until he's found, so she knows he's okay, and which he is going to be a violation of probation or parole, whatever he's on. So it's not going to work out in Angela's favor regardless. Because once he's found, no matter what he was doing, he's probably going to go back to jail.
Man, I swear, how much you want to bet Tony's a fiend?
I think he's a fiend. I definitely think he's a fiend, but something else is going on. Maybe he has a boyfriend or a girlfriend that he's doing drugs with. But I didn't even get that out of him at all, that he would run from the halfway house. So that's the weird thing about it at all.
That's what fiends do, I feel like.
To run from the halfway house?
Yeah,
because they definitely don't want to get that first drug test.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so Vince and Lizzy and what?
No, Vince is with Amber.
Amber. Okay.
Vince, Amber, and Puppy are at the triangle.
And
Amber's staying with Puppy's mom.
Okay, so Amber and Puppy's mom have a heart-to-heart, and they talk, which at least kind of Vince in the dark about what's going on. I think that she should have been talking to Vince instead of Puppy's mom. But it kind of makes Puppy's mom look a certain way about Vince now, that he's sneaky. Which I don't feel like he was the mastermind of the whole operation. I know, me and you talked about that.
Well, yeah. What was the operation?
Well, the operation is when you're in the military, you could put someone on your benefits that you can basically adopt somebody you can get benefits from. It's almost like putting somebody for income tax time and claiming their kid. But in certain states, you could put people on that's like the same age or older than you, and they tried to do that with Puppy so he could get extra money, and so basically he could be giving them money for commissary and putting money on their books. Long story short, he said it didn't even work out. They did it, but nothing came up. Like, he didn't get any extra money from it. But the mother, Puppy's mother, feels some type of way, like, how the hell are y'all going up with this elaborate scheme and adopted my daughter when I don't know anything about it?
Well, because initially, didn't Amber say something about he was supposed to be trying to adopt her? And so what happened that he wasn't able to adopt Amber?
I think because Amber getting out and Puppy was still in there. Is that why? That's what I was just assuming.
I don't think so, because the reason why ultimately we find out that they weren't able to get money is because she is in jail. Because Puppy is in jail.
Oh, that was the reason why she wasn't. Okay.
So he was able to adopt her, but they can't get no money because she's in jail.
And I feel like if this show's a real show, then all of this being exposed on the show, he can get court-martialed probably by that. I think so.
Yeah, because you're trying to like
manipulate the system,
right? And but I didn't like how Amber was like throwing Vince under the bus to Puppy's mom, because it was all good when y'all was in jail, but now that you're out and things are awkward between y'all, now you're trying to say that that's the reason why you feel some type of way. But I feel like she really just does not want him to be her man, and because I feel like it was all good since that was the prison scheme or whatever, and so that could have been some extra money for both y'all to have on y'all books while y'all in there. But I really don't feel like Vince came up with the scheme. I feel like she came up with the scheme and Vince went along with it.
Oh.
Because if y'all remember, she told Vince she's a hustler by nature.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like Vince would have came up with that. I feel like it was her. And then she's trying to make it seem like it was him. And which later on, don't we even end up finding out that Vince is talking to Puppy's mom and she confronts him and says, you know, how is it that you ended up adopting my daughter? And Vince was like, we all three came up with this together.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Like, that's why I was like, for her to go and try to hurry up and get Puppy's mom on her side was kind of...
Like, for real, I don't like Amber.
No,
I'm telling you straight up. Like, initially, I felt indifferent about her, but now,
I think
don't
she
like
thinks
her.
she's smarter than what she is.
Yeah.
And I think that she looks goofy thinking that she's smart when she's really not. And a person who has a little common sense, whatever they tell her, you could tell that she's lying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Her story never adds up to me. To me, it doesn't. Her action and her story never adds up. And so I would think, I was going to ask you as far as who don't you like on this show. I would say, to me...
I don't like Amber and I don't like Lacey.
Lacey, yep, those are the two I don't like. But everybody else is cool. Now, as far as what was going on with Lacey and Shane, how do you feel about that with Shane having to leave and Lacey really acting like she really loves him?
I think Lacey is definitely a piece of crap.
Now, do you think Lacey's a piece of crap, or do you think she's like a true blonde that she's like just ditzy?
I think she is a piece of crap.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Even for her to leave her kids, her and who is that? Who's the other girl who left their kids for, like, they're leaving their kids for so long?
Cheryl and Josh.
Yeah, like I don't get that. How are you leaving your kids for that long to play this little love triangle game?
I know. Prison and with felons.
That's somebody whose probably parents spoiled them and they can do whatever. Your support system has to be awesome. But then we have Lizzy and Daniel. It looks like they're actually starting to vibe like I wanted them to. They've
consummated the relationship.
Yeah. And I'm glad. That's actually my favorite couple out of the whole two. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping it seemed like it wasn't going to work, but it may work as long as they keep the parents out of their situation.
Yeah, I mean,
and the drugs.
I don't really like how Lizzy treats Daniel's mother, but
yeah, I don't like that either.
I mean,
but who else?
We got introduced to a new couple this week, Glorietta and what's her dude's name?
I don't know, but I like Glorietta's mom. I'll say that. Like she wasn't holding back any punches when she was talking about her liking dude.
So can you give me a little bit of background on them? Because I feel like they just dropped out of thin air.
Well, I don't really have too much of a background on them, more so than, like you said, they just came out of thin air. And I don't know if that they brought them on, because they do that with the Love after Lockup throughout the seasons. They'll bring other couples on, but I don't know if that's because of the what's their names are starting to fade away. The black dude and the black girl.
Yeah. So is this the end of us hearing updates on Andrea and Lamondre?
I don't know. I guess we got to see how serious Lamondre's charges was and how she's taking it. But with the Glorietta thing, I'm trying to think of what dude did to get in jail. But long story short, the mom isn't with it. She's like, I'm not with you going to go see this dude. I don't want you marrying this dude. Like, he's nuts.
How old is Glorietta?
I don't know.
She seems a little old for her mom to be like.
But she seems desperate, and maybe her mom is just bringing that to her reality. But I don't know. We got to see more about those couples because dude, I think he got a whole bunch of tattoos on his hand and all that. So we got to see. I got to hear conversation from this dude before I see if Glorietta's the nut one or if he's the nut. That's what I come down to now. Which one of them's the crazy one?
Oh, we didn't talk about Angela chasing after Tony and Tommy chasing after Tony with her.
Deep down my boy's head, he's probably like, Tony, fuck up. Yes. But at the end of the day, would you even still want somebody who's like that? Their heads up in the sand that far?
No, girl, you're a goner.
And Tony don't want anything to do with you.
Like you really want to chase after this jailbird fiend.
Ain't it funny how it be like that though? There be somebody who wants you. You will not give them the time of day. You be chasing after somebody who just got too much on their plate.
I know.
That happens so much in life, to where the person just make the logical decision. They will probably have a happy life, but stand there chasing somebody who they think will make them happy, but it has no plans on even settling out for. Story of life.
Story of life.
All right, but it was pretty quick. Not too much going on the episode. I do feel like Tony and Angela is coming to a closure. I think he's going to get sent back to jail. And I do think that Lacey and Shane is coming to a closure because he has to do his time in his hometown. And I feel like that Amber and Vince should come to a close, but Vince seems like such a loyal puppy.
Because I don't know, to me, it seems like even when Vince was talking to Puppy's mother, he seemed like he was being honest with the whole thing. Like, we came up with the whole thing together, and this is what happened, and it turns out, even though I did adopt Puppy, I can't get no money for her because she's still in jail.
Now, I'll say this about Vince, and you probably feel the same way about Vince. Vince, to me, might be my favorite character on there, but it's just his crazy. That's the only thing that's wrong with him. He looks crazy. But other than that, he seems like a cool dude. Like, as far as his heart's in the right place, it seems like he's very well mannered, and he's definitely a gentleman. Because another dude would have been tripping over.
Do you think that the reason why Vince probably has never been in a serious relationship is because of his look? His intense look and being weird?
If Clint could be in relationships and Clint can get married, Vince could do it. I just think Vince is too nice of a guy, and girls do exactly what chick is doing.
He's a nice guy that looks like he's gonna murder you.
But I think he's a yes man. I think he's a yes man. So I think the proper thing for Vince would be is to probably just do escorts for the rest of your life.
Vince, the serial killer with a heart of gold.
But see, I ain't calling him a serial killer. I'm starting to feel bad for Vince. He looks funny and everything. And he looks like a psycho, but it seems like
I'm kidding, Vince. I feel like at this point in watching Love After Lockup, I feel really bad for you.
But something about those first impressions from the military guys, it do be having me. Because even that's how I was with dude, what was his name? Marcelli, what was his name? Marcelina, yeah. I thought he was a weirdo too at first.
And he seems kind of calm too, so you set him off.
Yeah, but I definitely thought they wasn't going to make it, and they got a whole family now, a whole nother baby. So hopefully Vince, you don't need Amber though. Even if y'all do end up working it out, it's going to be hell. So you need to find somebody who's going to make you happy. And stay away from the people that think they're hustlers that's just stupid. Because she's going to end back in jail. Trust and believe she's going to be back
That's
in
what
jail.
I was thinking too. I'm like, Amber's going to end up playing herself.
She is.
In the long run,
she's smart.
She's going to play herself.
She thinks she's smart and she's not. So she's going to come up with some elaborate scheme that's only elaborate to herself. And they're going to catch her. But that's all I got right now. These couples right now.
I mean, all of them are usually a hot mess, but these ones, ugh.
When is Life After Lockup coming back on?
I know. I mean, at this point, don't get me wrong. I still kind of like the show, but I feel like I'm hanging on by a thread.
Because of what happened with the past people we like.
Yeah, they were better. And I feel like I'm starting to agree with you here, too, that...
a lot of people doing it for the reality show.
Yeah.
So we might have to do this. We don't want to because I know that there's people that actually do like Love After Lockup. But I'm not... Look, I'm not opposed to just having a woo.
A what?
A woo recap.
Oh, recap on Wu-Tang and American Saga instead. Yeah, I mean, we can have a serious discussion about that.
Well, what we'll do is we'll finish up the Love After Lockup because this is something that we stayed with to follow this. And after the season, we'll come and we'll make a discussion of whether we should keep going on or not. Because we'll know who the next characters are before the season's over.
Yeah,
that's how they're going. And that might be the problem with this is that they're just coming out with too many You know what I mean? It's starting to get watered down.
Yeah.
It's watered down now. All right, but we'll see you guys next week. We enjoy having these talks because there's always something eventful going on with these characters on the show. I don't even want to call them people; they're characters. But
stay strong, Tommy. So I can tell you, and Vince.
Tommy and Vince, stay strong, definitely. Have a good day.
All right, later.
Later.